With the Sliver protocol, you can customize the scrolling behavior of your lists. And like you can see in this example is that we have this sticking header, and this can be achieved with slivers. If you are new here, subscribe to my channel and make sure to watch this video till the end. Therefore, we want to get started with a normal list, and like you can see, there is no sticky header inside. And therefore, I'm currently using this list view, which displays multiple widgets under each other and also makes them scrollable. To achieve this sticky header, we will switch over to the Sliver protocol, with which we can customize our list scrolling behavior. And how you can do this is by changing the list view with a custom scroll view. And now we cannot use the children property anymore because we switch here to slivers, and therefore the equivalent is slivers. And this padding is not available for the custom scroll view, which we had before in our list view here around, and therefore we simply remove it and we will later put it again inside at another location. Within our slivers, we build every time the news, which are news section widgets, and basically we have here one section top news, and then later we have another section latest news, which is displayed, and that's everything what we have. And each section has some news under it, and there you see some image and a text. And now we want to go here inside of this news section widget. And here inside of this news section widget, we have a stack, and we simply display here our card, and below it we show here some background. And if I uncomment this background, you see we have no shadow for our cards anymore, and also this is not white, and therefore I have put here this background also inside. Let's go quickly back to our news page, and here I want to show you everything what you put here inside of your custom scroll view needs to be a sliver, and therefore also this news, our news section here, needs to be a sliver, and therefore we cannot use here the stack anymore. And if I would use here normal widgets and hot restart, you see we get here an arrow, and therefore we need to exchange it here with sliver widgets. And therefore I exchange here this stack by a sliver stack. And instead of this positioned, we also need to use a sliver positioned. And then we go here inside of our card, and here instead of a column, we can use this multi-sliver, which is exactly the same thing. And here inside we have basically three things: the header, then all the news, and a load more button. And here you can see we have first of all this header, then we have all the news in between, and at the end we always have here this load more button. For making this example work, I will simply uncomment here this load more button and also this card header widget. And now we have only the news, which are here this images and the title inside. And lastly, we need to also make this here a sliver, because within the multi-sliver we also need again slivers, and therefore I need to exchange here this list view builder. And how we can exchange this is by simply calling here a sliver list instead, and then we also can remove here this shrink wrap and primary. And instead of this list view builder, we cannot put here this item builder and item count directly inside, because the sliver list takes here a sliver child delegate, which we need to supply. And therefore we wrap here our delegate around, which is a sliver child builder delegate. And here inside you basically can set first of all the context and the index without this property, but basically it's the same thing. And also this name here has a different name, so it's called child count, but it's also the same thing. And now if I hot restart here, you see everything is working fine, and it shows again a list. And we have successfully transferred our list view to our slivers protocol. And now we can customize here the scrolling behavior of our list, and therefore we want to go on and actually create here the sticky headers. To implement our headers, we go to our build card, and here inside we had before this card header widget inside. And this is exactly here this widget which we now want to display, and we want to make it sticked. And how we can do this is by simply putting here around our card header widget a sliver pinned header. And this sliver pinned header has the effect that our header is always pinned. So right now you see top news is pinned. And you see also if I scroll up, then this latest news is also pinned. However, the design is not right now, and that's what we want to change. However, you see already that it is pinning the headers, and this is what you can easily achieve with this widget. And by the way, if you want to use here the sliver stack, the sliver positioned, this multi-sliver, or also the sliver pinned header, then you need to go to your pubspec YAML file, and here you need to put this dependency Sliver Tools under your dependencies inside. And with this package you get basically more slivers, because with the normal SDK of Flutter you have, for example, the sliver list and also other sliver variants, but not everything supported, and therefore you can use these Sliver Tools. Before we go here on and fix this issue of our sticky headers, we also want to put here this load more button inside. Therefore we comment this here out, and then we also need to wrap here something around, because if you don't do this, then you get here some error. Like you can see, this is not working because this build load more is of a type of widget, and we need to have here slivers in our multi-sliver list. And therefore I wrap this load more button inside of the SliverToBoxAdapter, and with the SliverToBoxAdapter you can basically transfer every widget to a sliver widget, and therefore you simply put here this widget inside which you want to transfer to a sliver widget. And now you see this worked, and we also have here our load more button inside in our design. Now instead of this two sticky headers under each other, we want to push one sticky header away, like this, so you always have here only one sticky header and the other one is pushed away. And therefore we need to make sure that our card header, this is here this header which is displayed on top, needs to be pushed up. And how we can do this is by simply going up in the widget tree, for example here, and then we wrap it here inside of a multi-sliver, and then you have here a property which is called push pinch children. And now with the change you can scroll up and you should see that the other header will go away because there is another sticky header. And how this is working, we have here two card header widgets, this top news and the latest news. However, if we put this field here inside, then only one header can be inside at a time. And because we have here two headers, and if I scroll here up, then the other one will push the other header away. And with this we are pretty close to the design which we want to achieve here on the left side. Like you notice in our design which we want to accomplish, we have here some space around, and that's what we want to add right now. And we also want to put here under our header some color so that you see always the sticky header. Let's get started by adding some padding to the left and to the right side. And therefore I go here to the news section, which is this widget here, and we want to wrap it here around with a padding widget and put here some padding to the left and to the right side inside. And this doesn't work right now because we need to use here slivers and we cannot use here normal widgets. Therefore I put here a sliver padding inside, and here I need to exchange the child with a sliver. And now you see we have here padding to the left and to the right side. On the top we already have some padding because I have set here inside of the sliver padding and sliver stack already the sliver positioned inside, and here we have this top property which is then also set to this 16 pixels of padding. And if I remove this top property, you see we have here no space more at the top, and I mainly did it because then we have here some space between our widgets. And here you see right now we have no space. However, if I put here this top inside, then we have here some space between them. If I scroll here all the way down, you see we have here at the bottom no space, and this is also what we want to add. And to add some space also to the bottom, we simply exchange here the horizontal spacing because right now we have only space on the left and on the right, and we put here simply all inside, and we also set here the top space to 0 because we have the top space already here inside. And now you see we also have here some space at the bottom. Next we want to fix here the problem with our headers. Therefore I go here to the build news and to the load more button, which are exactly here displayed every time under our header. And I simply want to clip it here, therefore I put the SliverClip inside. And because we want to have it for two things, for two widgets, we also need to put here this multi-sliver around, and then we clip here two widgets at once. And with the SliverClip, we basically have clipped now the news which are under our header away, and then only the header is showing. And we also clipped here this button away so it is not showing there under it anymore. There is still one small issue with our headers. If I go here to the next header, like you can see, then the background is not synchronous with our header. And now we want to make sure that both of them disappear at the same time. And how you can achieve this is by going to this build card, which is exactly then this card which is displayed here. And then we also have here this card background, which is basically this background which is going here earlier away. And how to prevent this is by simply putting here in our sliver stack this property inset on overlap, and we set it to true. And now you can see that if I scroll here to the next section, that everything is here going away together. And this is because we have added here this property, and with this one the card and also the background are going together away and not independently. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel here to get the latest news about Flutter, and see you soon. Bye!